Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Today's video is on reinforcement schedule. We will also give you some examples of reinforcement schedule. So let's start. In operant conditioning, there are different schedules of reinforcement that dictate when and how often a reward or punishment is given following a specific behavior. The two main types of reinforcement are positive and negative. Positive reinforcement is when a desirable stimulus is added to the environment, while negative reinforcement is when an undesirable stimulus is removed from the environment. There are four types of reinforcement schedule: continuous, fixed interval, variable interval, and fixed ratio. Continuous reinforcement is when a behavior is reinforced every time it occurs. For example, if you praise your child for cleaning their room every time they do it, this is an example of continuous reinforcement. Fixed interval reinforcement is when a behavior is reinforced after a specific amount of time has elapsed. For example, you might get a paycheck every 2 weeks for the work you've done. This is an example of fixed interval reinforcement because your behavior of working is reinforced after a specific amount of time, 2 weeks in this case. Variable interval reinforcement is when a behavior is reinforced after an unpredictable amount of time has elapsed. For example, you might get a phone call from a friend at some point during the day, but you don't know exactly when. This is an example of variable interval reinforcement because the behavior of checking your phone is reinforced after an unpredictable amount of time. Fixed ratio reinforcement is when a behavior is reinforced after a specific number of responses have been emitted. For example, you might earn points towards a reward every time you complete a task, such as earning points towards a reward every time you complete a task. This is an example of fixed ratio reinforcement because the behavior of completing tasks is reinforced after a specific number of responses have been emitted, in this case, every 10 tasks. Now, let's look at some examples of reinforcement schedules. In a factory, workers are paid every 2 weeks for the work they do. This is an example of a fixed interval schedule. The worker's behavior of working is reinforced after a specific amount of time, 2 weeks in this case. A salesperson is paid a commission for every 10 products they sell. This is an example of a fixed ratio schedule. The salesperson's behavior of selling is reinforced after a specific number of responses have been emitted, 10 sales in this case. A gambler plays slot machines and wins money randomly. This is an example of a variable interval schedule. The gambler's behavior of playing is reinforced after an unpredictable amount of time. A dog is given a treat from a treat jar every time it performs a trick. This is an example of continuous reinforcement. The dog's behavior of performing the trick is reinforced every time it occurs. So these are some examples of reinforcement schedule. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. See you next time.